Hai, ini gue 4 tahun lalu dan ini gue sekarang. Nama gue Chamar Haenda, 26 tahun. 2 tahun lalu di usia 24, gue berhasil diangkat jadi presenter berita TV nasional termuda di Indonesia. Tapi perjalanan ini gak mudah. Berasal dari keluarga sederhana. Dulu sebelum merantau ke Jakarta, kuliah sambil cari uang, mulai dari endorse kecil-kecilan, sampai diem-diem iseng jualan baju bekas bareng temen, sampai pernah jadi tukang parkir di gedung sate, buat tambahan uang jajan. Gue juga inget, dulu naik perahu ke kampus karena rumah kebanjiran. Oh ya, sebelum kayak sekarang, gue 13 kali ditolak jadi reporter di berbagai stasiun TV lokal dan nasional. Setiap kali gue gagal, gue tahu satu hal, harus upgrade diri, perbaiki skill, pengetahuan, juga penampilan. Ini dia proses casting dari reporter ke presenter yang gagal berkali-kali, but I can do it. Kalau emang rezeki dan takdirnya memang untuk kita, pasti gak akan kemana. Keluarga buat gue adalah sumber inspirasi. Gue anak pertama, gue punya 2 adik, satu udah lulus kuliah, dan yang lainnya lagi persiapan buat kerja di Jerman. Kita saling dukung karena kita tahu betapa pentingnya cita-cita untuk membanggakan ibu dan bapak di Bandung. Kerjaan ini sekarang jadi bikin gue terbiasa buat tampil rapi dan ready setiap saat. Kadang hidup memang semendebarkan itu. Dari seorang perantau sederhana yang pernah jualan baju bekas dan jaga parkir, hingga bisa membawa berita untuk jutaan masyarakat Indonesia.
Saya Chamar Haenda dan berikut seputar Aizus Pagi selengkapnya.
Ingat, gak ada yang gak mungkin. Setiap langkah kecil yang kita ambil menuju impian adalah bagian dari perjalanan yang berarti. Terus semangat, upgrade diri, dan jangan pernah berhenti belajar. Kita semua punya potensi untuk mencapai hal-hal yang luar biasa. Dan pemirsa, informasi tadi sekaligus menutup jumpa kita siang hari ini. Saya Chamar Haenda, terima kasih. Sampai jumpa. So I say that line every day on TV. It's how I end every news program shows as a TV presenter. But today, for the very first time, it's not the end of the story. It's start of a new beginning of my first ever TED Talk. My name is Chamar Haenda. I'm one of the youngest news presenter from Indonesia. I never imagined that I'm in these situations. I used to watch TED Talk while lying in bed from YouTube, and this stage where inspiring people show their ideas to inspire others. And today, I'm one of them. And I'm not scientist, I'm not a rich people, I'm not celebrity. I'm only a person who used to live in underprivileged area. I sold baju bekas, and I become a parking lot or tukang parkir, and ride a boat, and menerjang banjir to go to the campus to have a better education. But I've always believed in one thing, that I have a big dream. I was chosen from many great people to talk here, to speak here, and I'm so grateful. Talking about my family and starting my journey. So I was born in Bale Endah. It's a small town in Bandung. Does anyone know Bale Endah? Oh, tahu Bale Endah ya? Oh, orang Sunda juga nih kayaknya nih. Yeah, so people know it as a daerah banjir ya. Yeah, you know, floods, poverty, some poor areas, and slums, and of course, as you see, I'm the eldest of 3 siblings. So when I talk to my dad that I want to go to college, my dad take a loan like 20 million rupiah in a bank. And it's a huge amount for us, of course. They believe in one thing, that education can make our better life situation, can change anything, can change our future. So I'm the first who graduate in my family. And at that days, I'm not only bring diploma, but I also bring a hope for my brothers. And today, all of us just graduated. And one of us will going to Germany to have a good job. Yes, we made it. We get out from the poverty and have a better life situation, of course. Talking about my childhood memories, so becoming one of the youngest news presenter in Indonesia, I never realized and I never expected. But when I was 5, I talked to my family, to my mom and dad. I wanna be on TV. Oh, pengen masuk TV. So back to 2005. So my dad is from Bukit Tinggi, and my mother is from Bandung. So Panda, Padang Sunda, or Minda, Minang Sunda. So I'm a mixed blood. So I only can watch 2 channels. Jadi my TV tabung only can catch 2 channels, TVRI and also RCTI. I really love to watch Seputar Indonesia. I really love watching Doraemon, but before the cartoon started, it's accidentally I had to watch Seputar Indonesia. Maybe some of you know about that. One of the famous, the most popular news program in Indonesia. So that's how, even I'm just 5, I know Putra Nababan, I know Aiman Wijaksono, Arif Suditomo, long before I know and understood what journalism it was. And after that, talking about my upgrading self. So I didn't grow up in a world that support my big dream. I was taught to be realistic. People say that I'm ugly, I was bullied, and I'm not good looking. So I didn't belong, not necessarily on TV. So I said to myself, if people don't respect me, don't like me because of my face, of my appearance, they should respect me because of my value. So there are so many things that I do at a time to upgrade my value. I joined a campus organization to build my teamwork skill. I joined Mojang Jajaka in West Java. Maybe in Jakarta it's like Abang None, or in Jawa Timur it's like Raka Raki, yeah? And something like that, a youth program in West Java. So I learned how to have a good manner, I learned how to have a good knowledge, good grooming, and do many activities with the government about the culture, tradition, tourism, and creative economy. And I made it to top 3 in provincial level, Mojang Jajaka, Jawa Barat. After that, I did my first internship and my final research in Krung Thep Mahanakon in Bangkok. So I do my internship and doing my final research in Indonesian Embassy for Kingdom of Thailand in Ratchathani. And that's my first time to going abroad. Pertama kali ke luar negeri. And I'm really, really excited. Such a beautiful experience and memories. Even I learned how Thai people speak. So I can speak Thai, nit noi, little. And maybe I will show you after this. So the next story is about 13 times rejection. After college, I sent my CV to many TV stations, local and national television. I got rejected 13 times. Even until now, I still keep the email. I think it's because of my journey. That's really okay. And after that, I pray to God like, oh ya Allah, kalau bukan ini jalan gue, gak apa-apa deh, tunjukin gitu ya. If this is it's not my cut, please show me and I will find another way. Then 1 week after, it's really incredible. One of the biggest TV station, integrated media, calling me to do an interview in Jakarta. So I talked to my parent like, Bu, iya aya di Jakarta ayang interview cenah. Iraha isuk nyangga satu heula warungna gitu. I talked to my mom and dad that, and they are close their vegetable shop, and accompanied me to do an interview in Jakarta. So MNC Kebon City Jakarta witnessed my journey. For the first time, I enter a big luxurious building, one of the largest integrated media in Indonesia, even in Southeast Asia, because we have 4 national television, RCTI, MNCTV, KTV, Anyus, and also another work in media and like another complexity in media. And I realized that this is where the famous news intro disiarkan langsung dari studio RCTI Kebon City Jakarta. Inilah Seputar Indonesia bersama Putra Nababan. And I was like, oh, I'm really close with my dream. So there were several steps of the interview, but the most unique and the most remember of myself is the final round, the final step, where the reporter candidate asked to do a live report in another language, in foreign language. So at a time, while another reporter used English, I took a bold step to use Thai language. So I speak in Thailand. So at that time when other candidate, okay, pakai bahasa Inggris ya, 3, 2, 1. Hello viewers, good morning, I report blah blah blah, and I say, I report in Thai. Oke, Camar Haida dari mana? Dari Bandung. Oke, ini step terakhir ya, bisa bahasa apa aja? Inggris, Indonesia, Thailand sedikit-sedikit. Oke, 3, 2, 1. Sorry ครับประเทศไทยไปรำต้นข่าวแรกนี่ที่อินโดนีเซียกันก่อนครับทางอินโดนีเซียก็ทะเลทะเลเศรษฐกิจออกมากแม้ว่าตอนนี้เศรษฐกิจยังติดลบอยู่แต่ก็ต้องพันสายยันเฟนตอยันจะเจอแล้วนะครับ and the HR was like oh that's really fantastic so I think that's the strategy make yourself unique and different so people remember you. And yeah, it works. I accepted to be one of the 10 reporters, batch 2021 at MNC Group out of 200 applicants. At ground, I reported many places. I met and interviewed so many inspiring people about the floods, about protests, crime, politics, entertainment, and so on. And talking about pressure behind the headlines. Profession as a journalist. People only see the news we deliver on TV. But for every second, there's a big effort behind it. Going to the field, reading the situation and condition, writing the script in just a minute. And of course, understand the complex topic because after that we need to do live report in front of the camera, in front of a million people. So it's really a high pressure job. So in media, we race to be the fastest and the most accurate. One small mistake can change everything. So as a King and content creator on TikTok, I will show you a special funny video that really viral on my TikTok. And this is what happened 10 minutes before live report. Untuk situasi dan kondisi terkini di gerbang tol Cikampek Utama ini sudah terpantau ramai lancar.
Isu dulu Pak. Ada putih-putih nggak? Coba aman ya. Bisa melaporkan langsung dari gerbang tol Cikampek Utama. Isi lalu lintas ini masih ramai lancar. Sebalik ke arah Jakarta sudah mulai terlihat. Lalu lintas masih terus diberlakukan. Karena demikian kembali ke Anda di studio. Thank you Bang.
So no matter how hectic situation is, we need to be ready on the camera. Yeah. So as a journalist, I deal with many uncertainty day. One day I meet poor people, homeless, but the next day I can meet a ministry, a president, and each and every one of them has their own value, their own story. They're very inspiring. So this job requires to have a strong adaptation. And one special moment when I did the interview with the advisor to the president of Palestine, Mahmoud al-Habash. So during the Israel and Palestine conflict, it's so long and really complicated. Many people lose their lives that stayed to keep fighting even when everything around them was broken. From that, I learned something. We must to keep going even when life is hard and unfair. Just like today's TED Talk. Life is not always clear, but you can always choose to keep fighting. And I think pressure is not enemy. It's something that helps us to stronger. And talking about professionalism, have you ever felt sad and broken, galau? Ada yang pernah galau di sini? Banyak ya. So am I. Back into 2023 and 2024, I went through a very hard time situation. But working as a journalist made me realize and taught me to stay strong and look okay even everything was not okay. So yeah, I'm just thankful at least I didn't lose my mind and not going to be crazy. So maybe you see I'm standing in front of the camera reading the news, but you didn't know 10 minutes before doing the live report or airing in the program in the studio, I just wipe my tears and trying to calm down myself. So yeah, we are news anchor and we are human too. We have a personal things. We have a personal problem that you need to do something that professional. And many of my colleagues is crying just a bit before going live. But after the countdown, okay, standby. 3, 2, 1, live. Halo, selamat pagi pemirsa. And you know, it's really exhausting sometimes. But yeah, that's professional. So that's my turning point back in February 2023. This is my best coverage. For the last 5 years, I was the only reporter from Indonesia that came to Kahramanmaraş and Gaziantep. So that's the epicenter of earthquake. If you remember, in 2023, Turkey earthquake, 7.8 magnitude. It's really crazy. And most of the building, I stay for 2 weeks near broken buildings. I smell death. I saw kids lose their parents. I saw the victims surrounding, and I cry a lot. Let's see.
Kita akan segera bergabung dengan reporter Chamar Haendra. Ya, Chamar, bagaimana proses evakuasi korban
dan juga kota Kahramanmaraş yang menjadi titik pusat gempa. 24.000 bangunan yang hancur, 38.000 masyarakat Turki tewas, dari diperkirakan 100.000. Arti kanan kiri saya di bawah tempat saya berpijak saat ini ada jenazah yang belum ditemukan. Oleh karena itu saya sangat berhati-hati di sini. 90% ini sudah hancur. Setiap kami terlelap tidur di kota Kahramanmaraş, ini kami merasa apakah ini hari terakhir kami, karena sudah ada lebih dari 2.400 gempa susulan. Sebagai satu-satunya media Indonesia yang ada di kota Kahramanmaraş, actually we see a lot of children here. Time with you, just your hope for the Turkish government to help the victims.
Umudumuz düzel. Allah razı olsun genlerden.
Turkey, from Istanbul. From Istanbul. Bisa dilihat sejumlah alat eskavator. Banyak sanak keluarga yang menunggu bahwa keluarga mereka masih bisa ditemukan. 8 hari sudah pencarian dan juga evakuasi dilakukan. Mereka tidak pernah meragukan Tuhan. Tempat di titik pengungsian yang ada di Gaziantep, ukuran 3 kali 4 meter saja. Dan harapan dari Bapak Firkin, mudah-mudahan keluarganya segera ditemukan. I hope the situation is getting better. Pray for your family. Okay. Thank you so much.
Allah razı olsun. Allah razı olsun.
Mereka masih berharap agar keluarganya bisa diselamatkan dan juga masih hidup. Meskipun secara logika ini sudah 8 hari, namun mereka tidak henti-hentinya membacakan doa kepada Tuhan Yang Maha Esa agar keluarga mereka bisa selamat. Pemerintah Turki ini bisa melakukan suplai yang baik untuk makanan, obat-obatan, kebutuhan.
So it's really emotional journey, and 2 weeks in Turkey was not short time for me. I feel scared even I talk to my cameraman, I talk to my leader in Jakarta. I want to go back to Indonesia because I'm afraid I will die. I also had an argue with my cameraman during the time, but when the camera is on, we do it as a perfect team. So yeah, we still doing professional things. I keep going even though the situation were uncertainty. That moment changed me. I understood that journalism is not only a job. It's about helping people understand pain and hope. And it's about being voice for people who have no voice. We see beautiful story in media, but working in journalism teach us to be more realistic. So not everything goes the way you want, but we can always choose to keep trying. And after this is my story from reporter to anchor, from street to studio. After doing several exciting report, my readers saw something in me. So after this, I was given a chance to take a screen test to become a presenter in a studio. But guess what? I got rejected again 3 times during the process. But I think that's okay because rejection is not something new for me. Ngelamar kerja ditolak, nembak cewek ditolak. So, I was only 24 at the time. I felt so nervous.
Saya Camar Haenda. Pemirsa, mobil pemadam kebakaran terguling saat hari ini lanjutan persidangan pembunuhan Brigadir Nofriansah. Halo pemirsa, selamat siang. Partai Keadilan Sejahtera atau PKS resmi mengumumkan dukungan politik terhadap pencapresan Anies Baswedan menyusul Partai Nasdem dan Partai Demokrat. Saya Camar Haenda. Inilah seputar iNews Siang selengkapnya.
So different, and I earned 10 kilos at the time. So I'm so lucky because they give me time to improve myself, my knowledge, my capability, my capacity, even my appearance. And now here I am to be one of the youngest news presenters in Indonesia. So on my airing program, I picked my family to the studio.
Di dunia tipu-tipu, kamu tempat aku bertumpu.
Selamat pagi Camar, selamat bergabung loh.
Kita seluruh aparatur dan juga pejabat negara
Untukku hanya kamu yang mengerti gelombang kepala ini. Puja-puji tanpa kata, mata kita yang bicara, selalu nyaman bersama, janji takkan kemana-mana. Puja-puji tanpa kata, mata kita yang bicara, selalu nyaman bersama.
Another emotional journey. Talking about this year TED Talk, it's about the House of Cards. And I want to tell you about one card. It's not the king, it's not the queen, it's not the ace, but it's a joker. So in the game, the joker doesn't follow the rules. It's unpredictable, sometimes ignored, sometimes underestimated, but in the right moment, it changed everything. So I grew up of lack of privilege, but I always learning and building my own value. Some like Joker does. It doesn't give the book, it creating new story. And in the middle of chaos, it becomes the wild card. So if you feel your life is messy, if you feel like your journey wasn't straight that you want, maybe you're not failing. Maybe you are the Joker, and maybe that's the power. Albert Einstein said that in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. This also reminds me of the idea of the Joker's gambit. Sometimes, in a world full of uncertainty, we need to be brave like a Joker. Change the game, instead just follow the rules. So we all face moments that almost broke us. For me, 13 times rejection, heartbreak behind the camera, almost died in Turkey in disaster. But in the middle of pressure and badness, I discovered something. It's not strength that saves you. It's the will to keep moving. I'm Camar from small town Bale Endah to the face of national TV news and now speaking at TED Talks. Thank you, terima kasih, hatur nuhun, kapunhat.